A very good evening, everyone. My name is Kirti Vidyanandan, and this is my fellow teammate Ishwari Chandra. We will be presenting to you about the social cognitive theory. Social cognitive theory is used in psychology, education, and communication. It holds a portion of individuals' knowledge acquisition that can be related by observing others within the context of social interaction, experience, and outside media. So, explanation of the theory. Moving on to the next part, which is the explanation of the theory. So, social cognitive theory (SCT) describes as the influence of individual experience and action of others and environmental factors of individuals' health behaviors. As we know, there is Toko who founded this theory, which is Albert Bandura, about social cognitive theory, social learning theory, which eventually turned out to be social cognitive theory as well. So Bandura identified three basic models of observational learning, which is one, a live model, which involves an actual individual demonstrating or acting out a behavior. Okay, where we can see this live model is when Albert Bandura discovered this theory, he actually used a doll called Bodo doll, and he put kids and adults. The adults demonstrated where the doll is being beaten up, being treated with violence. The kids are left to observe for 5 to 10 minutes, and then the kids were put in the room with the doll. They imitated the same action, which is being violent towards the Bodo doll. So we can see a live model that is practiced there lah. Okay. Moving on is symbolic model. Symbolic model is which involves a real fictional characters displaying behaviors in books, films, television programs, or online media. Okay, regarding this, we can see how kids are into Marvel stories, for example, Iron Man, also DC's Batman. They watch the movie, they come back and they imitate the actions done by their superheroes. And they imagine themselves as I am Iron Man, I am Batman. So this is what we mean by a symbolic model. Next is verbal instructional model, which involves descriptions and explanation of a behavior. We can see this when somebody is teaching people to do something. When we give them verbal instruction, they follow according to the instructions that has been given, such as podcast, listening to podcast, even can lead to learning lah. Okay. As you can see, observational learning does not necessarily require watching another person engage in an activity. It can be hearing verbal instruction, such as listening to podcasts. We can also learn by reading, hearing, or watching the action of characters in books and films. It is the type of observational learning that has become a lightning rod for controversy as parents and psychologists debate the impact of pop culture has on kids. So how kids learn this pop culture is by what they see, what they hear, what they observe. So this is the issue that has become among parents, as most worry that kids can learn bad behavior such as aggression from violent video games, movies, television programs, and online videos. So there are four main assumptions by the social cognitive theory, which is people learn by observing others, internal process that may or may not lead to the behavior, goal-directed behavior, and behavior eventually becomes self-regulated. So in conclusion, I would like to conclude this theory before moving on to the example of theory. Cognitive, what we mean by cognitive is the senses that we have. By watching and by hearing, we can learn. So this is what we mean by social cognitive theory.
People can learn both positive and negative behaviors from observing the actions of people in their environment or models. For an example that can be related to the social cognitive theory is that if a child observes their parents going to work every day, volunteering some charity of works, it can influence them to follow their behavior or actions. It is how the theory of social cognitive works. For example, being polite is often learned through models as is behaving in a rude, inconsiderate way. If rewarded, these behaviors become reinforced and repeated by the individual.
In this video, we can see how social cognitive theory is used. Kirti is playing mobile games during her leisure time at the library. Ishwari is curiously watching Kirti. Then, Ishwari is walking towards Kirti to see what is she doing. Ishwari observes how Kirti plays the mobile game. Then, Ishwari starts playing the same game on her mobile phone.